Hello, I'm Coercer, and we are watching games from ArtifactCup number 26. We are now watching the matchups from the semifinals. We've seen the games between me and Harambe, and now there is one matchup, well, obviously, remaining between Majiir and BBI Iain. Now, Majiir was seeded into the semifinals, so he was basically waiting for who will emerge victorious from round 1, and BBI Iain has of course advanced into the semifinals. Majiir will be playing as random and BBI Iain as the coalition. Both are quite good players, Majiir being a veteran in deserts of Kharak. He has played in quite a few Artifact Cups, and I believe he has won a few too. Now let's look at here production. We'll be watching this on Gaussian territories. Coalition is the faction of choice for BBI Iain. He has spawned in the south, and up in the north Majiir has spawned in as the Soban. So this matchup should be quite interesting. Majiir has the advantage of having access to the Soban railguns, which are pretty much better versions of the coalition version. But if Iain decides to use his railgun offensively, his carrier offensively, Majiir could have quite some trouble, as his Soban carrier is not as powerful, and if the game lasts into the late game, Majiir could be in some trouble if it comes down to a carrier fight. Both players moving out their base runners, Iain going for the middle artifact, and Majiir taking the long way around, probably so he doesn't get spotted immediately. Iain moving out with his probe from the base runner, and Majiir scaring it off with an LAV. LAVs can shoot at air, but a single LAV will have some trouble taking down air units. Iain has produced an LAV of his own to scout around, and Majiir is already long-haul mining from his first bulkhead, from his first expansion, with a salvager. Iain is now doing the same, and both players looking to grab those first artifacts as soon as they spawn. Majiir's base runner should have no problem surviving against 1 or 2 LAVs, but if Majiir isn't careful, he could lose one of his LAVs. So now he is pulling them together, so he'll be able to fight off Iain's LAVs. Both players now grabbed those artifacts. Now Iain decided to go for the middle artifact, so as soon as he captures that one, he will be able to just grab the artifact that's closest to his extraction zone, and he has queued up that command as expected. Majiir is building AAVs. He has 2 AAVs on the field, and Iain has just produced his first armored assault vehicle. So both players decided to go for the AAV opening, which is quite strong on most maps, in most matchups. So this should be interesting to see how this plays out. Majiir looking to take out Iain's base runner before it can reach the extraction zone, but Iain places a third post almost immediately, and that should be able to take out these 2 LAVs with no trouble at all. Now AAV against AAV is pretty much just a tickle fight. It looks kinda cool though, with the bullets flying around. but these AAVs won't really deal any damage to each other. Iain captures his artifact, so the score is now 1-1, and Iain is now just looking to block Majiir's advance, as Iain really does not want those AVs to get anywhere close his resourcing. And now Iain is instead looking to be aggressive, because he sees only those AVs out on the field, and he can just pretty much drive past them and attack Majiir's resourcing directly. Iain now picking up his second artifact, moving some LEVs there to support and intercept any forces that might be coming from Majiir's side, and Iain has already researched railgun fabrication and is now pumping out railguns to support his AAV force. Majiir, now recognizing that those AAVs against AAVs won't really help, and is sending one AAV back to Iain's side of the map to deal some damage, but that AAV will meet these railguns and will probably melt quite quickly. Now Majiir is under assault in his main base. Iain's AAVs and LEVs take out Majiir's base runner, and now Iain is looking to deal as much damage as he can. He takes out a armed logistics module, which should break down the population cap of Majiir, and Iain is now focusing down Majiir's support cruiser. If he manages to take it out, that should be quite a blow to Majiir's resourcing operation. But Majiir has also researched railgun fabrication and is now pumping out those Soban railguns. Iain using smoke to cover his AAVs, making sure they live as long as possible, deal as much damage as they can, and as you can see, the Soban carrier is having quite some trouble taking out Iain's forces, but Majiir has an AAV and a railgun, and yeah, well, now it is a railgun on the field, and that should push away Iain's forces quite effectively. Iain loses all of his AAVs, while his railguns just got into range to support them, and of course he is now backing away with his railguns as he doesn't want to lose them. Iain's first base runner is still alive, and it's picking up one artifact after another, and it appears that Majiir's AAV survived that little move past Iain's railguns, and Majiir is now looking to deal at least some damage to Iain's resourcing. Iain has constructed a support cruiser. Let's see, Majiir has a second support cruiser out on the field, and he is now going to use it to repair his first support cruiser. Since the Soban carrier doesn't have a repair system, he can't use his carrier to repair that. That is quite smart to use the support cruiser, so it doesn't go down to any kind of drive-bys or a airstrike. Speaking of airstrikes, yes, Iain has researched strike fighter fabrication. Iain has another support cruiser on the field, and now Iain's railguns do take out that AAV before it can deal any damage. Iain using a probe to provide vision for those railguns, even though at that point that support cruiser and the soldiers were providing vision for that, but that's cool. Iain's base runner has captured another artifact. He is now up 3-1, and Iain is now expanding to his second bulkhead with a support cruiser and salvagers, so he will be mining from that very efficiently. Iain will now have a full strike fighter wing, while Majiir is now long haul mining from both of these bulkheads, waiting for that support cruiser to heal the other, but then he should be able to expedite his salvaging operation as soon as he moves that support cruiser to another bulkhead. Iain, well, it looks like Iain will capture his 4th artifact without much issue. There is nothing out on the field that can stop the base runner, and Iain being very active with base runners, capturing artifacts where he can. He now has a 2nd base runner on the field. It's going to try and grab that artifact, but Majiir's forces are now right on top of it, and that base runner should die quite quickly. Yeah, point blank shots on the base runner, and it gets eliminated. Still, that probably wasn't a bad move. Now Majiir can't capture the artifact that's closest to his extraction zone, and the fight should now revolve around this middle artifact. So Iain can't win the game by capping out artifacts. If he captures another artifact, he wins the game immediately. Majiir now has a force of LAVs, railguns, supported by a few AAVs. So he is in quite a good position. He has 6 railguns versus Iain's 4 railguns. They're being taken out by Majiir's Soban railguns as the LAVs provide scouting. And Iain's base runner is now in trouble. It gets taken out by Majiir's railguns and LAVs. So that initial base runner has now met its demise. It managed to capture 4 artifacts, so that was quite good in Iain's part. Iain now has a missile battery out on the field to prevent any kind of air attack by Majiir. Let's see, Iain has 3 wings of strike fighters, and he is building 3 more. So it looks like he's going for a full hangar of strike fighters, and that should be quite devastating, as Majiir does not have any dedicated anti-air units on the field. And Iain sends those strike fighters straight up against Majiir's railgun force, and those strike fighters are taking that out without any issue. Now Majiir has some strike fighters of his own. He's looking to defend those railguns, but Iain's missile battery is just in the range, and will be able to take out a few of those strike fighters. Majiir trying to micro his air unit, trying to take out any strike fighters out on the edge. Iain should lose that strike fighter right there. Yes, it goes down. But Iain has now decisively won that engagement. Majiir has basically no ground forces except for that bunch of LAVs in Iain's extraction zone. Iain is now looking quite scary. He has lost just 1 strike fighter wing, and he is in a dominant position right now. He has missile batteries on the field to prevent airstrikes. He has railguns on the field and is producing more. He is producing base runners, and he is now looking to capture his 5th artifact. Now, base runner could die to these LAVs, but there's a missile battery there to support it. The missile battery gets off a good mortar strike, and now Majiir is trying to take out that base runner with his strike fighter, with his strike fighters, and Iain is just launching wing after wing after wing of strike fighters, and oh, that's so close. Oh, Iain's base runner gets taken out. So Wow, Iain has a cloud of strike fighters out in the field, but Majiir managed to kill the base runner, so the game isn't over yet. But that Air Force is basically unstoppable right now. Majiir doesn't have any good anti-air options at the moment. He is building some with his base runner, so he should be able to take out a few of these strike fighters. Iain still has almost all of his strike fighters, losing just one wing, but Majiir has been able to pick up an artifact, so yet Iain is is a bit ahead of Majiir here. He positioned those base runners to pick up the artifact that's closest to his extraction zone, and now Majiir is racing to get his units in position. He is launching strike fighters to take out that base runner, but that base runner is probably too close to the extraction zone. Iain launching his superior air force to defend that base runner, and the base runner makes it at full health, capturing the 5th artifact and securing Iain's win. Iain was very active with his base runners in this game. He managed to just sneak in artifact capture after artifact capture, and he wins 5-2. If you've never played Duchess of Kharak, this might look like it's a dumb thing to let happen, but if you're being pushed around on the map and you can't get your gun forces out onto the map to prevent these base runners from capturing artifacts, this can happen extremely quickly. Iain is now up 1 game, and let's see what happens in the next game.